you're like me, you've been on self-improvement for quite some time, and there's this often times that you suddenly kind of feel lost. For me, mostly of that time is after watching a video where I just happened to see and interested in after I accidentally opened my phone and went to YouTube. It's muscle memory at this point, and whether if it's a self-improvement video or an instant gratification one, I always ask myself after, now what? The video informed me about the benefits or how to do a step-by-step guide, but I'm still not convinced. I still want that certain type of motivation, a call to action, or simply a direction to slap me in the face and tell me what to do. Because even though I learned something on the video, I didn't understand anything of it. To learn is to just know it, and to understand is to relate to it. There's a clear distinction between the two. And there are many names for this stage. This can be called into a lot of things like the self-improvement depression or the first stage of self-improvement. But I prefer to call it all information, no action. So straight up, the problem of this is obviously overindulging. And I get the reason why some of you are surprised. Some of you are probably about to burst at what I just said. Because if you're like me, most of you had been all alone on your self-improvement journey. The people who you go with, the people that got you into self-improvement, doesn't particularly face the same problems as you are facing now. And all this time you've been using YouTube as a guide to living a better life, and that's good. There's some good YouTube channels out there like Ruff and Hamza. But the problem isn't the content you're consuming, it's how you consume it. Be honest with yourself right now. All this time of watching self-improvement videos, did you ask yourself once if you really need the video that you're currently watching? Like, how did you even get to this video? Is it intentional? Probably not. You couldn't really implement the value being provided by the video simply because you're not on that level yet. And same goes for this video. If you're not even at the situation which I am right now, this video is useless for you. Because no matter how detailed I get, you wouldn't understand or relate to it. You wouldn't get much value from it until you actually experience this. So how to actually be present at what you're consuming and take action? Dopamine detoxing. It's a term used to avoid doing instant gratification activities. All that easy actions and a time where you do delayed gratification activities. It's kinda like monk mode but toned down. Because in dopamine detoxing, you literally just have to avoid content that you don't need. Although something people tend to get wrong is that you need to do it harshly and always on the grind. But no. The reason why you only do delayed gratification activities is because you cut off all the instant gratification activities. So even if you just don't use your phone for a week, that's already dopamine detoxing. Another thing people get wrong is you can't use your phone or consume any content while detoxing. It's kinda true but not quite. You can consume content. It's just that the content you have to consume is the content that you really need right now, or at least be aware of. In that way, it can really give you value and you'll appreciate it more. For the length of your dopamine detoxing, let's base it off on your experience. It can be a month or a year, but for beginners, I suggest blocking an hour of the day and slowly building it up. For example, you block a time of the day, just a random time to just meditate, play a sport, or to just do the work you've been putting off. It can be in the morning or a random time of the day, but remember to let it be consistent. Because that's what matters the most, the consistency. And over time, you'll build up. So, to those who really are at this stage of self-improvement, just focus on dopamine detoxing. And once you get used to it, you can bring back your self-improvement habits and add dopamine detoxing on it. So some of you might ask why we need to do dopamine detox. The reason why we need to do dopamine detox is to free your brain from the overload of information you've been consuming in. That's the main reason why you don't take action, because you're full of information. And when you do take action, you get additional information about an information until it's literally an information diarrhea. So stop consuming content and just give your brain the time to reflect and think and absorb all the information you've been putting in. I would suggest that you would add journaling and meditation if you really want to get the most out of it. So, to summarize all that had been discussed, consume less content, only consume content on what you're really aware of or in need of, block a certain amount of time to stop all the instant gratification activities, and journal and meditate. Sacrifice your today for his tomorrow. Take action.